show.
Welcome to All Fire No Filter. We got the game back. We got Omar. We got Corey. We got Lou. Tone will be on whatever time. So, how's everybody's week?
No, it's good.
No?
I'm here.
How's your week? Anything interesting? Anything interesting?
Been pretty busy. I mean, I've been doing a lot this week. With taking notes and all my other projects. So, been a
Okay.
very busy week, but it's worth it.
Corey? Corey. He must be unfolding. So we're going to take a quick break, get back into the first question. And this is All Fire No Filter. And again, Tone will be back.
You may have to hit Corey up. I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Ooh, 55-30 cents.
First question of the night. I've been dying to get you guys feeling on this. Do you guys think that the NABJ thumb down course line is holding Stephen A. Smith accountable or trying to silence him? The floor is open. Omar?
Okay. Well, listen, Stephen A. Smith, brilliant journalist, as we all know, right? But it appears that lately, he's been using this platform more for clickbait than anything else. I think having his own podcast now and other platforms that he uses, as opposed to just ESPN, has taken him in a different direction, where he's finding himself in hot water more often than not. He's been accused of disrespecting black women, black journalists. Remember the incident he had with Monica McNutt live on the air, where she discredited him for not speaking enough on the WNBA. Which I thought it was the set at the right time by her, because he has a huge platform and he wasn't talking enough about WNBA, and I criticize him for the same thing for baseball as well. I don't think he talks enough about baseball. We're constantly we're either hearing about LeBron James or we're hearing about the Cowboys, and I know that there are large fan bases for those two areas, but there are other areas in sports that need to be addressed aside from that. We don't need to hear about LeBron every single day or the Cowboys every single day. So, but I think the criticism that the National Association of Black Journalists is giving him is more so related around the way he's been criticizing black journalists, particularly female black journalists. So sometimes, people need a wake-up call, and maybe this is his wake-up call.
Especially Smith, because he's so arrogant and pompous that
Yeah.
And he's got to come into him. I hear him on sports and everything, and he is just so it's so aggravated just about everything, and I think it does get a lot of people. I can see why a lot of people just complain about him, and I think they have a reason to. I mean, he's so full of himself, just
Yeah,
like
I mean,
LeBron.
yeah, I used to watch First Take Live. I now, just DVR
Yeah,
it and watch it because a lot of it I just can't stomach, and I just fast forward through it. And if I see a subject matter that I'm
yeah,
interested in, then I'll watch it. But other than that, I can't stomach listening to him on a daily basis like that all day. Uh,
right.
Come on, let's get a little more creative. Let's discuss other areas of sports. There's so much to sports, and to just focus on the same thing over and over again. I mean, enough is enough after a while.
Exactly. And I do a pretty bad impersonation of him too. You should hear me on my show.
Um,
No.
hmm. Cole, you got anything you want to add to this?
I mean, what is complaining about me? What did I do? Why?
I don't think Corey can hear you.
I'm going to say this. Um, Stephen A. Smith, you do got the receipts. It's not like it's not out there. He went against Kamala Harris. You got him going up against. Let me backtrack a little bit. You realize he ranted on everything Fox News. He went on his rant. Sean Hannity, Chris Cuomo, and he
Yeah, I
went
get it.
on Golden Eagle.
And the View.
What did those three names all have in common? The three names have in common is me. I'm he's trying to set up a presidential one, and he's not telling us. But if his thing is he gave more to black females or black people than anybody, where have you heard that from? That where have you heard those words before? So my thing is Stephen A. Smith, and it's not like we saying it. He actually said it, and we got receipts, and we got receipts to prove it. And to me, is I think he tried to play both sides of the aisle. One minute he's a Republican, one minute he's a Democrat, one minute he's an independent. I don't think he knows what side of the aisle he wants to be on. But I just found it funny they gave him the thumb down. He been on everything Fox News and New Nation, and then when CNN asked him to come on, he would have no sir. I don't know, Omar Lou, what your thoughts on that one?
I'm gonna take that first.
Well, as far as him, running for making a presidential run, perhaps he is, perhaps he isn't. I don't know right now. Like you said, he's trying to find himself and find a platform, of which I think he has none. So
I think it's all hype, to be honest with you. I
could
mean,
be.
I don't think he means it. Besides that, I think if he does, I don't think he's gonna, get a very large percent of any votes. So, he's just like I said, a loudmouth, overbearing, and I don't think the public will want that. So I think it's all just a bunch of hype. And even if he does, I think he would, drop out of the race within about 2 months. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, me neither.
Tony, that you?
Harris.
Yeah, I'm on this evening. I'm on. What's up, everybody? NBA thumbs down, cross the line, both feeling accountable for time. So what's the nature of the question?
So the question was, do you think the thumb down cross the line from the NABJ Stephen A. Smith is holding him accountable, or they crossing the line?
Whew. Well, is anybody talking? Hey, who's that? That sweet. That was Sweet Lou. I heard, right?
Yeah, you got Sweet Lou, Omar, and Corey. But the floor is yours if you want to take the question.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Sorry for being late. Sorry for being late. My apologies. Did everybody speak already?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
the floor, Tom.
All right. So NABJ is. I think I mentioned this maybe 2 years ago, Harm, when we were together. So I have been a member of that for quite a while. It's nothing. I mean, I shouldn't say it's nothing, but anybody any kind of broadcast must be a part of the National Association of Broadcast Journalists, black journalists also, same thing. Um, I don't know. I don't know if they crossed the line because it's something that we have been monitoring with a lot of the comments that Stephen A. was making. It isn't something that was done. Just to give you a little perspective, it isn't something that was done because of one thing that he said. So he attacks, and we deal primarily with people in our industry, and we felt Stephen A. has been pretty consistently rude, consistently downplaying, or um, like kind of like Trump. Where he's not as bad as Trump. I'm gonna do that to him, but he said some things over the last couple of years that have been unfriendly. Let's just say that. Did we cross the line? I've heard this question a couple of times in the last week or two. I don't know. I would probably normally say yes, but I think with a guy like Stephen A., it lets him know people are watching, and everybody's not happy with him. He kind of tightropes the political parties, as we all know. So I think that I'm not upset that NABJ made the comments, and did uh, condemn his rhetoric. I'm not upset with it, and I think that it'll make him think about the things that he's saying, whether they cross the line or not. Because that's the question. I think he's crossed the line numerous times, and we haven't addressed him. Or I say we, I mean the NBA hasn't addressed him and some of the things he
Mhm.
said. Now he doesn't work for the NBA, so the NBA doesn't have to. They don't have to necessarily address anything he says. But at the same time, if you condemn the NABJ, then you need to condemn him as well. That would be my position. Because he has
so,
like
so,
things to do.
so Tom, I'm gonna ask you this question, and I put it out there, everybody already answered. Now, the platform that he went on, that's what I have a problem with. Fox News, News Nation,
Right,
and then when the CNN called him up on it to come on their show, he got down.
right. But I was addressing when I said he's tightrope lately. He's tightrope walking the political divisions. Basically, again, to keep saying that he's having political aspirations, and it kind of looks that way. I don't think he's going to do very well, but he seems to be considering. I don't know what he's trying to think about president or whatever, but he seems to have some kind of political aspirations, and so because of that, he doesn't stand up to any one cause. He speaks out both in favor of and against our people won as a definitely Democratic Party and Republican Party. He hasn't taken a position on either one, so we don't know what he is. Um, but I don't know. I agree with you. When you are willing, he hasn't come on any platform that would be considered favorable to our sector of America and make the same kind of comments about reporters from the other side. And Lord knows we could do that. We never heard from him when LeBron was told, shut up and dribble. He made some incendiary comments, but it was never to the point where he was emphatically coming against that woman that made the shut up and dribble comment. He made some comments, but because it was news, but it
I'm
died
just,
quickly.
I'm just gonna rebuttal. We're not really rebuttal. I would say this. He was, I would say this. Um, Stephen A. Smith. I don't like him. I don't listen to him. Like I want. like Omar, when first take on, I kind of turn away and I take the
Yeah.
weekend. Of it. My thing is, he got more to say about the Democratic side, but when it comes to everything the other side is doing, he got no say on it. Or he got very little say.
Well, very right. That's correct. I mean, we all see it. We're all seeing it now. And
My thing is, I don't know if everybody can agree with me. I just want to see what they pick a side and stay on that side. Whatever side you pick it and stay on that side.
yeah, right. I mean, I don't want to monopolize the time from the other gentleman, but he's not going to do that right now because he's trying to figure out. To me, he seems to be trying to figure out what side should he be on, especially if he has aspirations. I think he's realizing he's not he's not as popular in the Democratic Party as he should be. So he can't make a position because we're not Stephen A. right now. We're not feeling him, and that's why he's tight. But he's walking the tightrope because he's not really popular among them. He said some things over the couple of years that has not made him super popular with us. And then now with this NABJ, it's made him even less popular. He's a frat brother, and it's funny because we read him in. He didn't pledge like I did. He's an honorary. He's still a brother, but many brothers have asked for the exposure of his membership, and that's not a good thing. You get a whole fraternity against you. Now it's not up to the brothers; it's up to the leadership of the brotherhood. But you don't want people saying things like that to get you expelled out of an entire organization, and that certainly has come up many times. So he's not necessarily sure what party he fits in right now. He's not sure.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna get into some sports. We coming back to boxing,
Okay, cool.
so we'll be right back. So my first question of the night in the first war, I know we were talking about it backstage a little bit before Tone got on. My question to everybody: after surviving a massive tear in the fifth round, did Novak prove he is truly the championship of heart, or did Romeo net the golden opportunity separate? I'm open the floor. Omar, or Corey Omar.
Yeah, he definitely he let it slip.
Didn't get a chance to see it.
Like, I mean, you the champ, so
Yeah.
if you the champ, you can't at the end of the day let it go to decision, let the judges dictate happen. If you the champ, you gotta go in there and handle business and be decisive and handle your business to let them know that there's a reason why I'm the champion. He went in there, he had some good moments, but then he made T.O. wake up and have his moments and then stole the fight from him because he looked like he was the aggressor. So that's what happened That's what happened.
If you're the champ, you got to fight like a champion to defend your title. Not drag it out. You got to take care of it. Unfortunately, you didn't. That's how I came to that conclusion.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to see the fight, but I heard a lot about it and read up on it today. And from what I understand, it was a boring fight, except for that fifth round. Pretty much, Teofimo was using his jab and controlling the fight with his jab. Rolly wasn't doing much of anything. He caught Teofimo with a big punch, opened a cut on him, and almost dropped him. and that was the extent of Rolly's fight. And Teofimo came back the following round and continued doing what he was doing the rest of the fight. And like you guys said, you know, if you're the champion and you're not taking control of the fight, then you don't deserve a decision. And
Mhm.
even though I'm hearing that the fight was one-sided, I also heard that the scores were extremely close, which is common boxing. Not
Yeah,
surprised,
right. Good
you
point.
know. But yeah, Rolly's got to take control of that fight. He's capable of beating Teofimo. He's capable of knocking Teofimo out. He's the bigger puncher. Teofimo is the better, you know, technical fighter, but he's not that much better. I think Teofimo is overrated. I think he's always been overrated. I
So
think
too, yeah.
I think Rolly's overrated as well, but he does have the punching power. And as a champion, he should have taken control of that fight and he should have won that fight. So he let one slip away. He's asking for a rematch now. I don't think he deserves one after that performance he gave, from what I hear. So Teofimo maybe just needs to move on.
Right.
Ain't gonna be no rematch.
Tom?
Right. Luke came out and took one of my lines. Ain't gonna be no rematch. I agree with everything Omar said. Um, yeah, I mean, boxing needs a shot in the arm, so it's never bad for boxing. You either have upsets or rivalries. That's never bad. It's kind of like WWE. What makes WWE really popular? They build rivalries. Boxing is almost out of sight, out of mind right now, to the point where a woman boxer is probably the most popular boxer right now. So they need these kind of things to happen. But you know, just yeah, Teofimo's I gotta agree with Omar again. Neither one of these guys are great fighters. But if you're the champ, you gotta go out there and be the champ. And I think we all kind of concur in that. But boxing does need a shot in the arm. So if people are talking about it, regardless of the right decision or not, or whether the decision was close,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what boxing needs right now. And the only reason there might be a rematch, Lou, not because it's worthy, but just because rematches make money. You know, that's called the bottom line. Rematches make money.
Right.
And that would be the only reason why they would put it with that close score from the judges. I mean, people have the eye test; they know what they saw, but that close score makes you almost get a rematch just because you put up a good fight.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this question out there. This is part of it. Where do boxers go from here?
I mean, it could go up. They just need to stop with the ducking each other. As in, the good fighters don't want to fight the good fighters. They got a
Yeah.
way to where they make them fight each other without them ducking or cherry picking who they want to fight next.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that's what we
I
want.
agree.
I mean, if you saying you the top dog, then let's fight. I'm the top dog, and I feel like you said you the top dog. Then we gonna see who's the bigger top dog. So let's fight instead of nah. Fight Lou. I'm gonna fight Omar. Nah, I'm gonna fight Tony next. No, if you
Yeah.
feel like you are the best, and I feel like I'm the best, then let's go prove it. And the
I
best that
agree.
each other makes more money. So I don't understand why they don't understand.
So since we're on the topic now, Corey starting to get to it. This is where it wasn't my no filter question of the night. My no filter question of the night. So the no filter question means anything goes.
Right.
Except it can talk. Um, why do boxing promoters keep portraying the undefeated fighters instead of just making the right fight that fans actually want to see?
Money.
Yep.
That's it.
That's the
Ball hit on the head, money.
That's the bottom line. They just
Nobody know
they
undefeated.
want to maximize as much financial you know, as they can get out of these guys before they get rid of them.
yep.
And
Protecting that O.
they literally you lose a fight or two and you're done. It's
Yep.
that simple. They move on to the next one.
Yep.
And in terms of the no filter, the other question, where do we go from here? Well, boxing has always had these stalling moments, these stalling, areas, and then all of a sudden somebody emerges, and that's what we're going through right now. I don't think the sport is over. I don't think the sport is done. I just think
Even with the
we're just
rise of
going through a
UFC,
time.
you still, I mean, because that's taking over boxing's popularity, and you're seeing, of course, well, WWE and MMA. So I think it's where boxing has kind of gotten lost in all that.
Yeah, I think one of the things you got to look forward to is the Olympics. The Olympics is going to be
Oh, no
on U.S. soil
That's
this
how,
year,
exactly.
and I
That's how
think
you
I think it gives a chance for the U.S. fighters to really come out and show what they're capable of doing, and maybe we'll have someone emerge from the Olympics. So just
It's
keep an eye on
possible.
what happens in the Olympics.
correct. I mean, there'll never be a
It's
classic,
possible.
particularly limit class. But yeah, that's where our great boxers used to come from, the Olympics. They go out there and shine on the world stage and then they head over to the pros. Mike Tyson has a son, and he looks like him a little bit. Got some punching power, and because he has a star name behind him, every time he knocks somebody out, he's becoming a little small media darling. Got some punching. He's raw, so but they're watching him. But one thing he's got, like his dad, he's got some firepower in his hands. I don't know if you guys have seen him or not. I can't think of his name at the moment, but yeah, Mike's got a son that boxes, and he's right now he's looking pretty good. And he's going to easily rise because of his dad's name.
So, that's it on boxing. We're gonna come back with NBA talk. So my first question in the NBA, we know about Klay Thompson buyout.
Yes.
So the Klay Thompson buyout to join the Miami Heat to team up with Dennis and Bam,
Mm.
do the Miami Heat essentially become the team to beat in East?
Nope.
Nah.
That makes them a very good playing team with an opportunity. They're still with they're weak. They got three good players. People are going to learn that although we've done it to other players, three
Right.
good players does not make you a champion.
No bench.
Miami, yeah, exactly. Their bench is not ready. Their bench is not ready. And they lost Tyler Hero, so
Yeah.
obviously Clay Thompson makes up for that. He was a little bit younger, but yeah, no, they're not there. They're not that good. Still, even with Giannis, they're better, but not to the point where we gotta watch them like that.
They might be the team to beat in Florida. That's about as
Yeah,
far as it's gonna go.
Right, exactly.
Okay, let's keep it real. I
That Florida
mean,
Bowl is gonna be pretty good, right? Yeah.
listen, Clay Thompson is just a name,
Right.
and
That's
he's
exactly what
and he's a name from the Golden State Warriors. He's not the
Right.
he's not that same player, but he's still that name.
Right.
plenty of times I'm thinking that he won the Miami Heat is just like thinking that LeBron James is gonna win the title of Philadelphia. No, not gonna happen.
The
No.
only thing I really give them is the fact that they have one of the best coaches in the NBA, and we'll see what Spoelstra can do with what they have, because he's capable of making nothing, something out of nothing. So we'll see what he can make out of this team. We got they're one of those teams you just have you have to watch. You have to keep an eye on.
Totally agree. I agree with Omar. I just think they're so thin in other areas. Like they're gonna have their nights. Some nights they're gonna look awesome, but not as many nights as they would like to. And I think the Spoelstra factor definitely should kick in. Like Omar said, he's probably one of the best coaches in the NBA, but they're thin right now. And even with I think it's funny because we don't realize it. but next year will be 10 years since that Golden State Cavs series. These guys got old on us quick.
That's
They
crazy.
got old on us quick. That's a decade ago. I mean, all of us remember it like yesterday, but that's a decade
No,
ago.
I do.
So yeah, it's about time that these guys have gotten older. I mean, Clay, same thing, and he got to Dallas. That shot wasn't what it was 10 years ago, and he still shoots, but it ain't what it was.
All right, so the next question uh, came from Omar. Where does Jay Buss rank among the best point guards of all time?
He's not on that list yet.
I didn't hear the question, guys. Somebody repeat that for me.
Where does Jay Bussman rank in the best point guards of all time?
He's not on there
I'm
yet.
hearing James. I'm hearing James. I didn't hear the last name.
Jalen Brunson.
Oh, Brunson. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Herb. Okay.
So the
He's not there yet.
No, no.
Right. No.
His resume
Yeah,
not big.
mhm. Great season. Won't take it from one for the ages. Great season. But start putting that name into all time and point guard is not in the one position that's not starving for great players is point guard. That is not a position that's starving that you can just pull right in and be top 10. The NBA does not have a shortage of great point guards. So knowing that, I mean, it was like power forward maybe, but point guards, yeah, and you got a ways to go before you can start fitting in with Archibald and Iverson and so many more. It's you got a ways to go. Clyde Frazier, Magic Johnson. I mean, he's not that, Actually, I compare him to Clyde Frazier as far as a Knickerbocker because of his demeanor and persona on the court. Those of us that slow ball Frazier, I know, he does have that sense of cool on the court. I give him that. I'll give him that. Now, what I would compare in terms of where does he rate as the all-time great Knickerbocker guards? I don't want to change the question particularly. As long as you're on the subject of Brunson, does anybody want to take a chance at that?
Omar.
Well, right now he's number 2 behind Clyde. Still, I could put him. I could put him up there number 1 with Clyde, um, simply because Clyde won with a bunch of superstars.
Yeah.
Brunson won with one All-Star, and that was Cat. And Brunson won at 6'1". Okay, the only other point guard at that stature to carry a team to lead a team to a championship was Isaiah.
Yes.
Okay, as great as Iverson was, as great as Steve Nash was, they didn't get it done. As great as what's the point guard in Utah? Um,
Kentucky.
they didn't get it done. So
You talking about John Stockton?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Stockton didn't get it done either. So
Stockton, yeah.
a lot of these guards, yeah, they're obviously, yeah, as Corey stated, he's not, among the greats yet because of his resume. It's a small sample size. There are point guards right now that people could still say that are better than him that are playing right now, like Luka, like Kyrie, like Damian Lillard, maybe. People can name some of these guys. However, he's definitely put his name in those rankings now. Again, he won at 6'1". At 6'1", he won a championship with nothing more than another All-Star on his team, no other superstar. That's pretty impressive to do in today's NBA.
Yes.
I mean, he went up against a guy that some people feel that could eventually, if he stays healthy, be one of the greatest of all time in Wembanyama. And he took him down in 5. Took that team down in five games. And what he did in that last game, scoring 45 points when his team only scored 94, he scored almost half the points in a clinching championship game. Is about as impressive as it gets. So we have to give him his credit. Yes, small sample size still. But if he continues on this path, maybe not even win another championship, but if he does, then people are going to have to start, put some more respect on his name.
We agree and disagree on a couple of things. We agree on what you said about the ranking. I would put him number 2 also, behind Clyde. That we can agree on. There's where we would disagree is because it's what we call championship ring culture. I don't think whether somebody won a championship or not determines whether they're better than somebody. So I think this ring culture thing has really got. I mean, it's not your fault, Omar, but it doesn't. Ring culture has got to the point where we think rings have something to do with talent, and one has nothing to do with the other. You can win rings and have no talent, but you can't score, 30. You can't have a triple double in the championship and have no talent and do it regularly. So some people have not won championships that have like Malone, Barkley, Ewing. Those were greats, no rings. Now, how do I judge them when I know guys like, what's the name of Miami? Like I was making fun of him from Kansas, Mario Chalmers. He got 2 rings. So do I laugh when I mean, Mario Chalmers is not the same level as Allen Iverson. So the ring culture thing has gotten so out of control. And like I said, I'm not blaming you on Marvin. Everybody does it.
Well, the key phrase is he led his team to the championship.
Right.
Mario Chalmers did not lead his team to anything.
But
Brunson led his team to the championship. There lies a big difference.
It's not about Brunson. No, it's not about Brunson. Brunson, you were right about. You agree on Brunson. But I was talking about, you said some other guys you mentioned why their situation is different because they didn't win. And because basketball is a team sport, I don't do. I mean, whether you have, I just go by the talent level. I agree with you on Brunson. You said nothing wrong about Brunson. But when it comes to other players, Allen Iverson is as good as any guard that's got rings or no rings. Rings have nothing to do with whether Allen Iverson is one of the greatest point guards of all time. And he would never want a ring. And I can't name many guards that were better than him, athletically and everything else. But ring culture makes us throw the rings in also, and really only in heavily in basketball. Other sports don't do it, especially baseball. But in particular with basketball, we got ring culture, and I think, like you said, you mentioned Stockton. Whew, his court savvy was amazing. I mean, they did everything but win a championship, and I don't know. I think you take the ring culture thing has really watered down the ability of great players, but they didn't win rings. We got so many players in the NBA that haven't won rings. That's why the big thing is going on in Philly right now. Joel Embiid. Will he win a ring now?
It's not about the ring. It's the fact that Jalen Brunson coming into the season was not considered a superstar. He just made the All-Star team the year before for the first time. He wasn't a starter in the All-Star game that year, right?
Right.
And the fact that he played with no other, he wasn't a superstar himself coming into the season, and he played with no others, and he won a championship with no other superstar. That's what makes it pretty impressive what he accomplished. The fact that he led this team, not anybody else, he led this team to the championship. So that fact alone makes what he accomplished very impressive. Now, obviously, Allen Iverson is better. There's no mystery to this, right? We're not saying that. Allen Iverson didn't play with any superstars either. John Stockton did. Okay? So let's not forget Karl Malone was on that team, and he was a superstar who was on the Dream Team. So we have to take things into perspective, and we have to take it as what they really are. And right now, after the season, everybody's considering, or most people are considering, Jalen Brunson to be a superstar now.
Oh
But
yeah,
before the
without a
season,
doubt. Yes,
he was
without a
not
doubt.
considered a superstar.
Totally agree. But Utah, to me, because of Stockton and Malone, went further than they should have. I know thought they were. I realized basketball being a team sport. It wasn't about Malone and Stockton not having the ability; they didn't have the team. So, and that's the difference where two players shouldn't be good enough to win a championship. It makes you better, but that was what they had, and they did their part. They got to the championship what 3 times, and I just again they ran into some juggernaut Bulls teams. There's no comparison team wise, and teams don't have to have a lot of superstars to be good. The Knicks are living proof in this era. In this era right now, the Knicks are living proof that 9 or 10 really good players can beat 3 or 4 superstars. Because the Knicks
Right.
were weak anywhere. The Knicks were not weak any superstars. No, excellent
Mhm.
ball players. Yes, and they proved to the world you don't have to be signing all the superstars to win championships. You can win with very good basketball players with great IQs. The Knicks did that this year. They proved a lot about the game of basketball this year.
So my next question is, where do the Knicks playoff run rank of NBA the whole time?
Ooh,
Mhm.
it's up there.
It's okay. Yeah, I gotta say that.
It's up there. Yeah, hell of a run. That's definitely up there.
And what was the final record? They lost like what 2, 3 games the whole playoffs,
Yes.
and they were beating the bricks out of people. Omar, you might know these numbers. What were the final numbers like? But did their average be like 14 or 15 points a game for the playoffs? Like the lead was like astronomical.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
crazy.
so it's not gonna be forgotten what they did. But I've been reading that number, and I was like, the Knicks margin of win. It was like some ridiculous number, and
Yeah,
it can't make it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah, I'll say that top five.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but obviously, what Golden State did in 2017, 16-1, I mean, hands down, they just destroyed people that year.
Mm-hmm.
So
They certainly did. That was no contest.
we cannot forget what they did in 2017. And then I go all the way back to 2001 and what the Lakers did. They were 15-1.
Mhm.
So we have to remember that some teams just completely dominated. Um,
Exactly.
and we can't forget what Dallas did, and they were an old team in 2011. Dirk was old. He was a star player. Jason Kidd was old, and they ran through teams like it was nothing. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I put the Knicks, in the top five. It was very impressive what they did. I mean, just running through teams, blowing them out, blowout after blowout after blowout, running off like what? How many? 12 in a row. We lost 2 of the first 3 in the first series against Atlanta, and then the only other game we lost was when who showed up,
No,
and
yeah, right, right.
and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was
The
it.
problem I have, you made a comment on always is good, but I kind of always didn't like the 2017 Warriors because so you take the Knicks this year, who did a hell of a job, and let's just say out of nowhere, just as good as they were already a championship team. You know what? We're going to give you Joker also, as if you're not good enough. We're going to give you the Joker also, and so that same thing happened in Golden State. You got 3 of the best players in the NBA on your team ready, but you know what? Take Kevin Durant also. Now you got 4. So the 17, we knew when Kevin Durant went there, that was a championship team. We knew when he got there. There was no mystery to who was going to be the favorite. There was no mystery to them winning. It's just watered down. It really, it's hard enough. But a lot of teams have 3 players, but
Mhm.
you go get a 4th player, and you're sitting on one of the best players in history of Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters in the world in Klay Thompson. The Draymond he's gonna find his way into the Hall of Fame. But you know what? Take Kevin Durant anyway. That's the equivalent of the Knicks taking Joker anyway.
Mhm.
I had a problem with that 17-1. I always had a problem with that 17-1.
Omar, you want to take this one?
What's that?
You said something about Kevin Durant going to Golden State, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's my thing. Kevin Durant was only doing what LeBron James did was going to Miami.
There was nobody on Miami as three. There was not three players on Miami as good as
Not
Clay. There were not three players on Miami as good as the three players in Golden State. That didn't happen. We
No.
had one really good player that was Dwayne Wade. Bosh, we would see how good he was, but there wasn't three good players on Miami. There was not. That is not the same thing. LeBron added to them getting better, but there was not three players on the level of Steph Curry, who easily is going to be one of the greatest players. One of the greatest players was not on Miami when LeBron got there. That's not true.
and Miami didn't win before Braun got there. They were terrible.
Exactly. They were not even close. They weren't even close to winning.
Well, I wouldn't consider. First of all, I wouldn't consider Draymond a great player.
I'll give you that.
Okay, I mean let's take that. Let's make sure we put that in perspective.
Yes.
He's a great defensive player and a great rebounder. He's not a great player.
But the key word
Correct.
was great at what he does. That's what I mean. He's
Okay,
right.
say that. Say that. He's great at what he
I'm fine
does,
with that. Yes, he's great at
but
what he
he's
does.
not. So let's not put him. Let's not put him in any superstar category here.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
No.
I will say, but Steph Curry goes into it. Steph Curry goes in that category.
Yes,
There
of
was
course.
Steph Curry at Miami. When Steph
Not,
got there.
but if you take Draymond off that team,
I'll tell you, I'm not putting Klay Thompson in that category either.
Yeah. Well, listen. The superstar obviously is Steph Curry. I will put Clay as an all-star player, and then you went and got another superstar player in Durant.
Right.
Okay, so you got two superstars, an all-star, and a player that is good at what he does in Draymond, right? So
Yes.
Smalls, you just got through saying, you really can't just because you have two superstars doesn't mean you're supposed to win.
Right.
You just got through
I agree
saying
with you
that
about the winning. Right.
they have two superstars and they won. They won 16-1
Right.
that season. At the end of the day, you got to get it done. No matter who you have on your team, you still got to get it done. And they got it done in flying colors. So you got to put some respect on their name.
It's a little different. I think that I agree, but if you already got those 2 or 3 stars on your team already, and then that team loses, and then you go out and get a player that's better than everybody that's on your team, that's unprecedented. That you could actually, you were already good.
How often do we see a superstar player go to a team and they don't win it right away?
Oh, I lost count. There's been plenty of times.
Because they have to develop chemistry. So we've seen it a lot. In this particular case, it worked out.
Well, their best player was the guy that came to the team. I give you that, but they already had a superstar. I mean, no question, none of us will argue. They had a superstar on that team already that was in his prime, and they found somebody better than Steph Curry. How hard that is to do. History will reflect how hard it would be to find somebody better than Steph Curry.
Doesn't always mean it's going to work out. How often does that happen? How often as a superstar player going to another team and won right away? How often does that happen?
Not many.
Exactly. Exactly.
By the
That's
way,
not reality.
LeBron James and Chris Paul can do it. They didn't win it right away.
Facts.
Right. I agree. I just think in Golden State's case, they were already a champion. The one thing we have to ask ourselves, how many championship teams go out and get their next best player is going to come from another team? You're already a championship level team.
Well, if a championship team got the money, if the championship team got the money to go get him, and he signed.
But we're not saying it's not legal. What I'm saying is, in terms of the conflict, but Omar's saying, I can see if you go somewhere and make a team a championship team. Golden State was already a championship team. They had already went 2 championships and won one before Durant got there. So all he did was take them to a level that nobody could touch them, but they were barely touchable to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They were barely touchable to begin with. Most teams can't say they did that. So when I make the point about stars, My point is that Golden State was already a championship program. Miami, for example, was definitely, as what's his name said, Corey. They weren't close. They were a number 5 seed, look almost look on the outside of the playoffs. But look, they were 42-40 when Braun got there. So they were definitely not the Golden State Warriors. Golden State was a championship program that got the best available player other than LeBron at that time. The next best player was Kevin Durant. A little different.
Mhm.
I don't know any teams that's done that before. Maybe Omar can correct me, but I don't know too many already championship teams that go out and get their best player from the straight. That's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is, if I'm not a lot of people go to see get there, and they really got Kevin Durant, and that put them over, and they went back to back with it. Any other team would do the same thing Golden State would have done. It was given a chance.
And that's
Yeah.
why I asked name one.
Just
Name one.
ask the Dodgers.
Well, that, in baseball, the equivalent to the Dodgers, right? But that's why I asked the question. Let's name a championship team that was in their prime and already won a championship that went out and got a Kevin Durant. Can we name a team that did that?
I don't think there is any. Everybody.
I don't even think it, Corey.
But the fact of the matter is, doesn't mean it's going to work.
It doesn't. Right, I agree. I'm not saying who did what they did. I'm not
It
saying
doesn't mean
that
it's going to work. It just happened to work.
Right.
Well,
Right.
it
It happened to work.
again too, because it
But think
depends.
about how real. I'm sorry, Corey. I'm sorry. Cutting you off,
You're
Corey.
good. I feel like it depends on what kind of player you're getting. Like
Right.
prime example, when LeBron went to Miami, right? Dwayne Wade was the guy in Miami, but he knew if they wanted to go over the hump, he had to let LeBron lead. So he took the back seat and let LeBron die. So if you have players like that, I think it'll work just fine. But as we've seen, we had players that are just like, well, I am who I am, come in and I'm still do my 30 shots a game, and that's
Which is what Curry had to do.
right. So it depends on the player and the mind frame of, hey, I'm gonna take a back seat. I know you can do this, but I know I can do this too. But here, go ahead and take the reins. So
Because as good as Curry is, who's the dominant player on that team? That's Durant.
right,
He's the dominant player.
yeah,
So he let Durant lead.
yeah. So that's why it worked. So
And that's why it worked.
yeah,
That's right.
Because if Curry would have said to himself, "This is my team. I don't care who's coming here. This is my team. I'm taking all the shots," it would have never worked.
Of course.
Right.
And there lies the problem. Curry decided he's the dominant player. As good as I am, he's the dominant player.
right.
You
Let
gonna
him,
take a quick
let him dominate. Who's shooting?
Which
Who can't Durant shoot over? He could shoot over anybody. He's 7 foot.
Right.
And he's arguably one of the best shooters himself.
And that's kind of where Dwayne Wade was. Dwayne Wade was his own star. He was his own star, but he was more injury prone as when Ron got there, and he realized, this kid is up and rising, no different than Kevin Durant. And like you said, it was time to take that back seat. And when, as Corey said, D Wade had to make the same decision as Curry. Like, I've had my run, I got my championship in my name. Very funny, those two careers, very similar. They both won championships without the big star, but then they realized it's time to step down.
We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with WNBA. So my question, I know you all part of the WNBA. So my next question is, WNBA, what playoff picture tighten, with the playoff picture tightening down? That's right. What team on the outside is looking is on the outside looking in? And what team is the most dangerous going into October? I'm gonna open up the floor.
Well, as far as dangerous going in, I have fallen in love with this girl, both on and off the court. She's magic off the court, and I don't care if people like the way her game looks or not. The numbers are absolutely phenomenal. And Angel
Hold on, I got
Reese,
the floor.
to me, has made Atlanta, now that she's now found her role there, I think they're one of the favorites. She put up that 31 last night to get them in the playoffs. She's a double machine. And I don't care, sometimes the game isn't pretty. Sometimes she plays the game like a girl, but a very good girl, But I think that I get it. Indiana, of course, with CC, they look good as well. But I'm going with Atlanta, bro. That team is so amped right now, and Angels numbers right now are absolutely off the chain. I mean, you can't put Vegas out of it. Vegas is always a dominant problem. But right now, I'm with ATL. I'm so ATL, as the song says.
I agree with you. Hell, doing pretty damn good once they got her. That was a hell of a trade for her to revamp.
Hell of a trade.
I say the Aces too. I say the Liberty.
What about Minnesota? They're the best team in the whole league.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not taking them away. I just think
But
people
they're
aren't sold on
dangerous.
them. Yeah, they're dangerous. Yeah, they're definitely dangerous. I don't think people are sold on them. But in
But
terms of what they're doing, yeah.
it also depends on who they run into. So the matchups
Right.
are the issue.
I wouldn't count Vegas either. I mean, they've been a strong team a lot of the last 4 years.
Correct.
So I wouldn't count them out either.
2 weeks ago, Atlanta had a
Valkyries,
little.
I don't know what Golden State's done just their short existence where they are.
I'm an Atlanta fan as well,
Okay.
but they're not winning it.
Who do you
Not
think
this,
they're
not,
missing
not
from
this
winning?
year. That's not this year anyway.
No.
Minnesota is going to win it. Minnesota is the truth. That girl Olivia Miles, she's the truth.
Yeah, she's the truth. Yeah,
Okay?
she really is. Yeah,
She's
she
a
really
rookie,
is.
and she might win Rookie of the Year and MVP. That's how good she is.
Yeah, she's been.
Now
she's
think
been
about
good.
what she's done. She's had this team in first place all year without their best player. Nafisa Collier is their best player, and she's had that team in first place all year. Collier just came back about 10 games ago or so, 10, 15
I
games
would
ago.
thought Colorado wasn't done. They have a terrible season, but that proved to be wrong.
So I think they're going to win it all now because they have her back. I think the Valkyries are a very good team. I think they're a much better defensive team than an offensive team. They're in second place right now, but I don't think they'll beat Minnesota.
Right.
The
That's
most
right. That's exactly right. Mhm.
the most dangerous team to me is the Liberty, simply because of how deep their bench is.
You took my answer.
I mean, their bench could be a starting team anywhere. That's how good their bench is. They have the best bench in the W. So I think they're the most dangerous team. They just got back Phoebe,
Yeah.
and she is a beast. Okay? They got Johannes coming off the bench knocking down threes. They got the point guard Astier, who's good. Obviously, Jones, Stewart, and UNESCO speak for themselves. They're a deep team, and to me, they're the most dangerous team. And if they got Sabally back, I don't think she's coming back because she had that concussion and she's been out. So I don't think she's coming back. But if she does, look out. But they're the most dangerous team to me. The only problem with the Liberty, they don't play defense. And I think that's what's going to hold them back eventually. I think the Aces will make some noise, but I don't think they'll win it all.
So here's my three dangerous teams. I gotta agree with Tone, Omar, everybody else. With the ATL, that's one. Golden State is looking good. So I gotta give him number 2. And my third team is nobody. Because when in doubt, nobody signs in October. And nobody comes to play in October. Um, they beat the Aces twice this year. The problem with them, Omar said, they don't play no, they don't play no damn defense. So they scored 100 points, but they gave up another 100, or they gave up, or they scored 80, they gave up 75. So until the Liberty could figure out that, and plus their biggest out right now, I think who everybody's sleeping on is Golden State.
Yes.
I don't think they have enough offense. They have a great defense. I just don't think they have enough offense. But they
Yeah, I
have a
think so.
tremendous. They have the best defense in the W. But they won't. I don't think they can stop Olivia Miles. She's just gonna keep coming. You can't stop that girl. She's too good.
No.
To me, it's going to be Minnesota versus Golden State in the championship.
It could be. It could be. Somebody asks, what do I think keeps Atlanta from winning? I think their coach keeps Atlanta from winning. Their coaches like Thibodeau. He doesn't play. They don't. The coach doesn't play the bench enough. Olcott should be more established by now. She's really good, but she doesn't get enough playing time. Their bench hardly plays. It's the starters that are getting all the playing time, and that's a recipe for losing. You're not going to win like that.
Yeah.
So any prediction going into the playoffs right now? We'll take a break. No prediction?
Yeah, I think Minnesota wins it all.
Yeah, I think we've all taken a position already. While I said Minnesota, I'm all, like I said, I'm for ATL, so I'm all the way in with them.
I'm going to try. I think enough to go to this game. They might be the sneak on this one. Or if Liberty don't pick it up, then Liberty might do some damage. Because the Liberty is a whole different animal in the playoffs. I think the only problem with Liberty comes down to they don't play defense and they coach. They got an offensive mind and coach.
Well, that's not going to change in the next 2 weeks, sir. It's going to be a little bit. I guess my point is they're not going to become Liberty of old in the next 2 weeks. So I think that's why they're not really a heavy favorite right now. The same they did years ago, or a year ago, or 2 years ago is great, but this team ain't that team. And this team is poor on defense. And I don't think they're going to change much in the next 2 weeks.
I mean, I say this. One thing about the W, anybody can be anybody. And my wild card team might be Indiana.
Yeah. You gotta watch them. I mean, they got players down there. You gotta watch them.
They right now they sit in at number 5 spot. And
well, Kelsey Mitchell will have to go off. That's the only way that'll happen.
Well, she's been going off. She
would have to continue doing what she's doing and then some, because I don't trust Aaliyah Boston. I don't.
You don't? Really?
I don't trust Aaliyah Boston. I don't trust her. I wouldn't trust her in the playoffs. But Kelsey Mitchell will have to go off. And I don't think their bench is deep enough either.
No.
That's what I would say. That's right. I agree with you. That's exactly what I think their weakness is. That's why they call their name.
And their defense is also weak.
And listen, that's why I gave you the wild card. Right now, the team that's looking out right now, for some reason, it plays big. But they're gonna make the playoffs.
Well,
'Cause
right now it's Indiana against Atlanta in Atlanta in the playoffs.
yeah, and then you got Vegas versus Liberty. You got Golden State versus Washington. I'm guessing you got Minnesota versus Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is not
Hell of a
NBA.
first round, guys. Hell of a first round right there.
Well, it is a hell of a first round, especially with Las Vegas and New York, and then Atlanta and Indiana. That's must
That's
see
gonna be the
TV.
one right there. Oh,
Yeah,
Mark, you know what? That's must see TV right
that's
there.
must see TV.
By the
And
way,
give the WNBA their props. Give them their props, everybody. That they've gone from an afterthought maybe just 10 years ago to there's certain like Omar said, some of those games are now must see TV. Stand ovation to the W for putting themselves in that position. But they were not here 10 years ago.
so we're gonna be right back. We're gonna go come back with baseball. So we back with baseball talk. Our final segment of the night. Um, well, not really our final segment, but it goes to it. Should the Hall of Fame know its standards let more legends in, or does it keep the bar high to protect what make it special? I'm gonna open the floor.
Omar?
Yeah, I mean, I argue the fact that Don Mattingly is not in the Hall of Fame all the time.
He should be.
And he belongs in the Hall of Fame. You know, players like Bernie Williams, multiple All Stars, 4 World Championships. I mean, he definitely deserves some consideration. Won a batting title, Gold Gloves. Why is he not being mentioned is beyond me. He was a staple of that Yankee dynasty in the '90s.
Yes.
And he was a center fielder of that team. Like, come on, why is he not getting the consideration and the respect he deserves? Because he's quiet,
I agree.
you know. I mean, these are the things that I just don't understand when it comes to baseball. However, with the new committee that they have, I think some of these guys will probably start getting in finally. Prior to Lee Smith, the relievers weren't getting in, and now they're starting to get in. They're starting to get the respect they deserve. You know, the Eckersley and the Goose, getting in is something I needed to see, and but as far as protecting some of these guys, well, Major League Baseball is old school, and I get that, right? But sometimes you have to start going along with the times a little bit and loosening up a little bit. If the Yankees can finally allow players to wear facial hair, then guess what?
Right.
Some players can start getting into the Hall of Fame that deserve to get into the Hall of Fame. Now, I know a lot of people are going to push back against a guy like Barry Bonds, for instance, but Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before anybody even thought about him using steroids.
Mhm.
Pete Rose got 4,000 hits before he did gambling. At least of what we know of. So players like that, I think belong in the Hall of Fame. But I understand, and I'm not really going to debate too much against what Major League Baseball feels in that regard. But I just think it needs a closer look at certain players that technically should be in that are not.
Good answer, and I definitely concur. Um, I don't believe in anything where you lower your standards. I think there's a reason. I mean, greatness is based on greatness, and if you're lowering your standards, I'm just answering your immediate question, Herm. I don't like the idea of lowering standards to get other people in music. Don Malley was great. He didn't need Don Malley didn't need the standards to be lowered. He's being kind of ostracized because of injuries in the number of years he played. But there's not every one of us that know the eye test knows Don Manning. He is a damn Hall of Famer. Bernie Williams is a Hall of Famer. Um, they know this game. So I don't need a watered down Hall of Fame. I need a better selection of people on the Hall of Fame committee because there are guys out there that we saw them play and they're not in there. So no, we don't need to water anything down. We need the right people in all. I mean, Omar was nice about it when he said, "Why is Bernie Williams not in the Hall of Fame?" He was nice about it. I'm wondering for a lot of other reasons because Bernie was the epitome of Yankee baseball in terms of his quietness, his resilience. He was a center fielder in New York. I don't need to tell anybody what that means in baseball history. And Bernie's name should be there. If I'm wondering, I'm not. We don't do much, racial talk from here, but there's not much else to explain why Bernie's not in there. It's just not much else to explain. It was just. I mean, I know Mariano's in there, so I can't say that they ostracize players based on race, but center field is a different position here in New York. I cannot explain to anybody in the world why Bernie Williams is not in the Hall of Fame. I'm just home on that. I know why Madden is not in there, not because he didn't deserve it, but they're claiming that it just wasn't enough years, which that's BS. But Bernie, man, and you got the rings to go with it, and you've been a part of those rings. Yes, it's really weird. We don't need to lower any standards. We need better people on the Hall of Fame committee. It is the standards. Guy like Barry Bonds, but whether you think he used drugs or not, bottom line is they didn't prove it, and that's what unfortunately that's what the law is supposed to be. They didn't prove it. You had your case, you had your day in court, and they basically are making him. They're making him held accountable for what they didn't prove. This man is a massive Hall of Famer, and Mark McGuire was not a massive Hall of Famer. He was not Barry Bonds. But Barry Bonds was Willie Mays. Barry Bonds was Hank Aaron. Barry Bonds was Babe Ruth. And you can put those names in somebody, and they're not in the Hall of Fame. You didn't prove their case. We just need different people in the Hall of Fame on the committee. Everything I said about Barry, anybody's name you call, you can put Barry's numbers against them.
So my next question: are the Stars forcing David onto super teams and are lead priority, or are some Chargers need to taking talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers?
I spoke last time. I spoke last time. We group on that. We both have spoken about that before, in other platforms. That's a good question.
Well, in terms of what the Dodgers are doing, I'm all for it. I mean,
Yeah.
George Steinbrenner was heavily criticized back in the 70s and 80s for doing what he did.
Yes, it was.
And I didn't see nothing wrong with it, so I can't possibly see anything wrong with what the Dodgers are doing now. In fact, I think every general manager should be trying to figure out a way to do what the Dodgers are doing. The Dodgers are deferring money, and it allows them to stay under the salary cap. Sure, they're going to be paying out money for the rest of, modern times, especially the Shohei. They're going to be paying him until he's like 70, 80 years old. But
At
that's
least.
the way. But that's the way to do it. I mean, Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid by the Mets the 1st of July every year,
Right?
all the way till 2036, I believe, or something like that. But this is the new way of doing things. This is why the Dodgers have been able to get all these good players, simply because they're deferring money. So what's wrong with deferring money? Players aren't going to take a pay cut. Not everybody's Jalen Brunson. Not everybody's Tom Brady. They're not taking pay cuts like that. So give them their money, but defer it. And that way you can stay under the salary cap and you can get as many star players as you possibly can.
So this gonna bring me to my final no filter question of the night. On my just touch on it. Again, no filter. You can basically say what's on your mind, so no filter. Hold on, one question. So basically, the question is:
Mm-hmm.
are the stars running away from do baseball itself need a new salary cap, or the owners or the owners in baseball just way too cheap? Anybody?
Yes. Is the question, does baseball need a salary cap? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do they need a new salary cap? That's an no filter question.
Anybody want? Because everybody can answer that. That's not like a baseball specific.
They'll
Also,
never get
for
it.
baseball.
They'll never get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Kurt Flood opened that flood, and that flood will stay running.
That's a bigger flood.
Okay,
Well,
that flood will
Because
stay will keep running, and
like
that's
in the
and that's the flood that has allowed the NBA to make NBA players to make more money.
yeah, so that's why James Dolan won't go under the salary cap because he's not ready to take a risk.
Hmm.
The Dodgers don't care. Do you need the baseball need a hard cap or the hard cap of baseball is not where it needs to be? That's my question.
Well, I mean, wherever you think it needs to be, it's not going to happen. The players will not allow it. They're about to go on a shutdown after the season. There may not be a baseball season next year,
they're gonna fight
Probably
that.
not.
but the owners will eventually give in because they have no other choice, and
Yeah,
the
but
players
when
know
will they?
that. Well, when they realize that they're losing money in droves, they'll give in.
Yeah, but knowing that could take a long time.
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to go and get the scout players. They're going to get minor league players to cross the picket line, and they're going to do what they did back in what was it, '94, I believe. They're going to try and do that again.
95,
Yeah, they're going to try and do that again. But at the end of the day, it's not the same product. It's not, and that's going to be a problem because it's bad enough baseball is already losing its luster to some of the other major sports, and here comes the W. Don't let the W take over Major League Baseball because they could wrap it up. So they're starting to lose their luster, and they're gonna have to decide something quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So I'm gonna throw it out there.
Let me, let me have this a small piece because I agree with. I heard nothing I don't agree with. Um, it's bad enough that the NBA has a salary cap, and that. And I'll use this as an example. Um, the Nets are a horrible team right now. The Brooklyn Nets, my family. Yet we have the sixth richest owner in basketball, but he can't spend any of that money. People not coming to Brooklyn when they can make the same money on good teams. If you go without the salary cap, Brooklyn would have been flinging money around, and that's what they do in baseball. That's what they
Mhm.
do. They fling money around. At least we'd be in the game if somebody said, "I got an offer from blank to make $10 million, but the Nets offered me 35." You got the Nets now in the free agency game. But as long as you got a cap, the money that we have, again, sixth richest owner in basketball, can't really spend any more money than anybody else. And like Omar said when the segment opened, I'm a Yankee fan. Who am I to talk about free agency? I became a diehard Yankee fan because of money. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And that's why there's going to be a strike, like everybody said. I think the ugliness of a cap in the NBA, you know, owners the Nets have been sold because the first owner didn't really understand, that again, you're not going to spend all. He wanted to spend money. He did go get Kevin Durant. He did go get Kyrie. He did go get James Harden. He came in with a mission, like I'll get what we need. And then he had to explain that cap to him. And he said, "Yo, I'm out." and he sold the team. He's getting good players costs a fortune for teams. Y'all know that already. So yeah, the baseball players are not gonna do that. I agree. The strike, it may be a long strike too. It may be a long strike.
So my last question on baseball before we go into final thoughts, and I kind of want everybody to come in since everybody's a baseball fan. Um, so baseball changed the game to get more young viewers to watch the game.
Repeat that.
So baseball changed the game to give
How would you
more young
change it though?
people, to give more, to get more people to watch the game.
No,
Yes,
they can't change it.
No.
The younger folks are watching the Savannah Bananas.
I'm down.
Right.
Leave my team alone.
That's who they're watching. Okay,
Sorry.
let them watch the Savannah Bananas. They can enjoy that. The
Got a lot of
Savannah
fun.
Bananas, for those of you who don't know, is similar to the Harlem Globetrotters.
Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. Yes.
Okay.
Always said that.
So
They
they're
got all
entertaining,
great
they're
watch.
exciting, they're fun to watch. The kids love them. Let them watch that. You can't.
Yes.
The parents can't get these kids to watch baseball like they used to because these kids would not let go of their phones,
There you go.
Yeah.
But
and that's where the problem is.
preach. Yeah. That's it. We ain't have fun when we were playing. I mean, baseball already changed the game. And I don't like some of the changes. I like the clock. I'm not gonna say I like the clock. I can live with the clock. What I can't live with is putting a man on second base to start an inning. That just that just drives me crazy. Especially
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Can't do
I,
that.
I hate that. I mean,
That's disrespecting the game. I don't even like it for the extra
it's such a
innings.
disrespect. Omar, you and I play. Can you imagine, Omar? We go a one hitter, and it was a tie score. Maybe, and out of nowhere, a team that barely got a guy at second base. I'm throwing heat one day, and now I got a guy on second. They couldn't do it for 8-7 innings, and now you get a freebie. That would drive me crazy. You're putting a guy on second base. I mean, just go by
Okay,
the
this is my last question of the night. Since Tone, you, Omar, you touched on this earlier. What rule would you take out of baseball to make it better, and what rule would you put back in baseball to make the game more smoother?
Wow, off the top.
Yeah, I can't. What do you think, Omar? I don't think there's a rule that's keeping people.
I mean, I really can't think of nothing off the top right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
I actually like the challenging of the strike zone. I think it's worked out pretty well.
Love it.
I think it's worked out pretty well. So
Love it.
I can't complain about that. It's kept the game moving along as well, so it's not like it's taken up a lot of time.
Right.
So yeah, I like where it's at right now. To be honest, I don't, off the top of my head, I really can't think of anything that I would want change. Maybe next week I might think of something by next week, but right now I can't think of anything.
This is the question I have in my head. So listen, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with final thoughts, and yeah, this is all Fire No Filter. So this is final thoughts where everybody gets 30 seconds to a minute. You can use your minute to 30 seconds to talk about something relevant going on the day or to sum up the show. So I'm gonna pass it around. Tone, you first.
Jesus, I gotta go first. What do I do? Yeah, what do I have? I mean, right now, sports is playoffs are coming from baseball. NBA's gonna be open soon. NFL's gonna be opening soon. Um, I don't have any real and shit. I don't know. I guess my biggest thing right now is getting rid of Donald Trump. I mean, shit, I gotta be keeping it real. Right? If I had to really say what's my biggest gripe right now is political. What can we do to get somebody the 25th Amendment, this man, and everybody vote, and we can get them the old-fashioned way. I mean, we can beat them. But other than that, sports is where it's at, and there's no cheaters right now. There's no and everything's competitive. I would just say, for me, it's a political point. The nation this is an embarrassment to our nation. What we're looking at right now, there will be a movie one day called Trump, and that movie is going to be an embarrassment to this nation. It is that horrible show we're looking at right now. That's my gripe.
No 30 seconds or a minute.
Well, I'm going on the local front. Bayonne, New Jersey, in the Little League World Series right now. They had a great game on Friday, but boy, did they run a tough competition today against a dynamite pitcher for Iowa, who got 14 strikeouts against us today. So New Jersey has to get their gear in action. They are now in the loss column. They got to win Tuesday or it's over. So good luck, Bayonne.
Omar, 30 seconds to a minute.
Well, let's try to break the internet. Why don't we on this one? So I'm going to talk about viewership. Now, Major League Baseball playoffs is on the horizon.
Yes.
How much viewership is it going to get this year versus some of the WNBA playoffs?
Ooh,
I don't think it's going to be too much to worry about. I mean, the baseball playoffs will outdraw the WNBA playoffs by a mile.
How do you know that?
Do we actually know that?
Do we actually know that? Right.
Atlanta versus Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
I'm watching that game I'm watching every one of those games.
Asia Wilson versus Brianna Stewart.
I'm watching every one of those games.
I mean, it's about to start getting interesting. I'm
That's
just saying.
sure.
I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'll be watching the viewership.
Yeah.
So but I still think there's nothing to worry about.
We'll see.
All right.
Right. Good point, Omar. I like that. That's a good focus. I like that.
So my final thoughts on the whole thing is, I think we could all have, is not really on the show. I think we could all have a healthy debate. I think me and Tone debate at times. It gets heated, but at the end of the day, we brothers on the next. I think the art of debating got out of hand. On certain situations, I think we can't debate no more, and nobody can express our opinions like the way we want to anymore. And for my last 15 seconds, get better Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. Thoughts are with you and your family. The chef just came back today as your captain. So, listen, one thing he might be doing, he might be living longer than Trump. So this is all fire, no filter. Again, we never go 4 weeks in a row. This is our fourth week. This is our 4th week in a row. God willing, we're gonna try to do stuff. So see everybody next week.
Good job, Herm. I'm very proud of you. Good job.
Salute.
That's right.
We winding down, but the vibe feels right. Huge love to Tony and Herman shining bright. Lou, Corey, John, and Omar, that's the whole crew. Every time we link up, you know what we do. Before we float out on that midnight air, go on and tap that like to show that you care. Drop a comment, and you know you gotta subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and catch the vibe.
Oh yeah,
Gonna see you on the next ride.
on the next ride.